All right. Thanks for joining us today, everyone, for our first of many webinars to come where we highlight new features and functionality and run through the best practices when using Cloverfeet. So just a little housekeeping. Lines are muted for everyone. Go ahead and use the Q&A function to ask questions at any point during the webinar, and we'll go ahead and respond at the end. And also, the webinar is being recorded, and you'll receive a link to review it in your emails later this afternoon. So presenters today will be myself, your lead software trainer, Shingo, our Director of Support, and Chris, our VP of Product. Cool. So today's webinar will cover process improvements, reduce touch points and overhead, along with new opportunities for maximizing revenues. So first section, start off with Shingo, who's going to go over a few of our process improvement features.
Okay, so our first improvement to the system is Clover Tipping. Our past functionality, if you're familiar with it, was very clunky. It was time-consuming, it was manual. You had to add it to the check, charge the customer a second time. It was just not good for anyone, staff or customer. So we've made some improvements. We've integrated directly with Clover. So this feature does require that you have a Clover account and a Clover device connected to Cloverfeet. So two different options. Option one, your Clover device will need tipping enabled. So if you need help configuring that, please feel free to call our support. We'll be happy to help you out. How it works, during the payment process, the customer will be prompted with the screen you're seeing now. They can choose the different options, add in a custom tip or hit no tip. Once that process is complete, it'll pass over to the point of sale and automatically stamp it to the check. And then you're done. You can see the totals in your sales summary under the gratuity section. But other than that, that's it. That's the whole process. Nice, simple, easy to do. Go to the next slide. So this will be option two. This is the standard restaurant-style post-auth tip. This option is usually preferred if you're running a cafe, a restaurant, bars, or even maybe your event coordinator will prefer to use this at the end of an event. How this works, the customer completes a payment as normal, and then you have the ability to select the payment and enter the tip amount. We also recommend that you enable a gratuity line on the receipt. That way you can hand the receipt to the customer at the end of their event, at the end of their meal, and they can fill out the tip amount and you can enter it into Cloverfeet. It does require some configuration with the payment account as well as some back-end changes on Cloverfeet. So if you decide to go this route, you will have to contact us and we'll help you set it up. So overall, these changes have reduced the overhead required to process a tip, allowing happier staff and in turn happier customers.
Should probably also note that we're working on adding some reporting too, so that you can allocate gratuity to the employees, so you can easily tell what employees have gotten what tips throughout the day and make your life easier.
Yep. Cool. All right, moving on. So we have two new reports we've added to the system. I'm going to cover those now. Go ahead and just move to the next screen. The first one, we have the weekly sales report. Here you have your revenue class broken down by each day of the week. This gives a clear picture of your peak days in each category. You can also use the Compare To button to compare week over week, year over year. It was created to help you determine what days to offer discount specials and then track the progress to see how successful they are. The next report, which we're going to see here, net sales by postal code report. This was a highly requested feature. This report tracks your sales and breaks it down by postal code. You can discover where your customers are coming from and determine what areas need more marketing. For example, did you purchase a billboard in a neighboring city? You can track the progress of that advertisement and determine if it was worth the investment. So now you can see your top grossing postal codes to effectively manage your advertising funds.
Thanks, Shingo. We're going to pass it on to Chris to show you reduced touch points and overhead.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today, guys. First, I just want to say this is we had an amazing turnout, so I really appreciate you guys joining us. So the first thing I want to highlight is QR codes. You know, COVID, there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety around people visiting stores, touch points, you know, interacting with, you know, credit card terminals and employees. So one of those ways that we've kind of addressed this is we've been working with customers to help them roll out QR codes. You know, we've had some customers put QR codes on their front door, and just says, you know, scan this QR code. It will take them to online booking or registration, you know, however you want that flow to work. But basically they can, you know, they can stand outside, they can sit in their cars, and they can do all of those things right there on their own mobile phone. They can register, they can get themselves into activities, they can pay for it. So when they do enter your store, they're really just going to go participate in whatever activity, you know, they feel comfortable doing. So it helps with your overhead, you know, keeps your lobbies clear for maybe the people that aren't comfortable, and it gives your customers options. So the next one is our new EGift card platform. So we're excited about this one. We worked really hard in order to get this out to you guys in time for the holidays. So it's a completely new interface for selling EGift cards. It's similar to the functionality you had before if you guys were using it. You can purchase a gift card. You can do multiples. So kind of like if you guys ever bought a gift card on Amazon, you could put in 4 or 5 or 6 emails if you want, and it will create a separate product for each one of those. You can put in a special note, so you can say, you know, happy birthday, or thanks for, you know, the extra hard work this week. And then that customer or that recipient will get that email immediately. It'll be, you know, an HTML formatted email. You can customize it with your logos. It'll have the QR code for the gift card. They can print that out. They can, you know, forward it on to if they need to. They can bring their phone in and just pay for it. You know, scan the phone right at the point of sale, or they can, you know, print it and bring it in that way. One of the biggest things on this is that we have integrated with 3D Secure. So it's, you know, Visa, MasterCard technology for, kind of think of it like two-factor authentication, but it really is just a big step in mitigating fraud, which was, you know, we got a lot of feedback. Customers were having issues with gift card fraud specifically, so that was to head that off. So you should see a huge decrease in your liability there. The next one is SelfService Kiosk. So this was another big initiative for us. We're really excited about this. You know, customers are, like I said before, they want to reduce interactions with people. But we also were looking at, you know, with COVID, you have reduced revenues, reduced number of people coming in, but then we also have, you know, rising minimum wages. So to combat that, you can employ self-service kiosk. It's, you know, something that's going to sit there 24/7 and do all of the functionality that a, you know, front counter staff would do. So we base this off of, you know, logging in. You'd use a mobile phone, so you can type in your phone number, you can type in a PIN, you can do the entire registration process. You can, you know, register. You can purchase products. You can create a family group or a group of friends so that every time you log in, that same group of people is in your group ready to be put into whatever activity you want. So, you know, me as a dad, if I put, you know, my wife and my son in there, the next time I come in, I just put in my phone number, put in my PIN, select, you know, carding and axe throwing at 12 and 1. It will ask, you know, which of your group wants to do this. I could put me and my wife in carding and my son in axe throwing. You can purchase, you know, add-ons. You can purchase, you know, really anything you want. You get to customize it. But the real takeaway here is that it's going to be doing all these things to help you reduce your overhead. You know, it's always there, always working for you. And it gives your customers options. You know, some people might still want to go to the point of sale. They want to ask questions. You know, if I'm a returning customer, I know what I want. I'm going to go to the self-service kiosk every time because I can choose what I want. I can get in and out really quickly, and I don't have to, you know, talk with anyone or interact with anyone.
Awesome. So next up is new opportunities to maximize your wallet share with your customers. So we're going to go over a few features that have been released in our 20.0 version and beyond to help drive revenue for the holidays. So first one, Cloverfeet Integration. So one of the biggest requests we get is to be able to reallocate the credit card processing fee to the customer. By doing this, it allows you to increase your bottom line. So you can set it to a specific dollar amount or percentage. And in the United States, the Supreme Courts have recently ruled in favor of merchants passing these fees to the consumer, but as always, check with your local regulations. The next feature I want to highlight is Club Booking, our amazing new online booking tool, which I'm sure most of you have seen parts of it so far. Since releasing Club Booking, we've noticed a significant increase in average customer spend, especially when comparing it to in-house transactions. We've only recently released this tool, yet we already have about 85,000 guests and 26,000 bookings have come through the system. And this quote from Mark Bonnell highlighting 1,009% year-over-year growth is the type of feedback we're seeing. So as we all know, in today's climate, we know that online booking is no longer an option, it is a necessity. And statistically, pre-COVID, 68% of customers preferred the convenience of online bookings, and this number has increased dramatically over the past couple of months as our world begins to reopen. Your guests spend less time in line and more time having fun, all while driving more revenue to your bottom line. So I know most of you have seen this already. However, here's another short preview of what your booking site could look like. Giving this a quick run through. One of the biggest contributors to increasing average spend is the add-on functionality where you can customize what products show per deal. So this right here is really what has been boosting up those sale numbers.
It's been a big driver in being able to offer. So like Christina said, you can customize what products you show. So you can kind of tailor, for trampolines, you want to show, socks and stuff like that or whatever. And for karting, you want to show something else. But it's, I'm sure a bunch of you have, scripts for your front counter staff where, if they're buying a race, try to sell them a membership or try to sell them that. So this just kind of automates that process and then makes sure it's consistent, it's always the same, and two, it always happens. Someone doesn't get flustered or in a hurry and forgets to even try to push the upsell. You just know every single sale that goes through, you're trying to push and maximize that revenue per transaction.
All right, so that is our webinar for today. We're going to answer a few of your questions now, and for any we don't get, we'll respond to those personally. So please use the Q&A section below to ask any of your questions.
We had a couple come through already. I did answer one to Jordan. Jordan had asked on the gift card interface if you have the option to do sales. You can definitely do sales, so you can choose what prices you set for those products. So it just looks at your ClubSpeed gift card products. You get to choose which ones you want available online. And then so you could certainly sell a $60 gift card for $50 or $75 for $50, whatever you want. And then you can also definitely customize the images. So we don't choose the images for you. You get to upload your own, and you can put your branding and all that stuff on there. Did you have a couple more come through?
Yeah, so we had, can I use both of the tipping options at the same time?
It's per terminal, so you can have a different combination of what tipping option you're using, but you can't have them both enabled on each terminal. So you can have one set up with option 1, and then point of sale 3 set up with option 2.
There was a follow-up that can the preset tip amounts on the Clover be changed?
They can. That's something you can actually do on the Clover device. So you'll have to go through and change the settings there. If you need help, feel free to call our support line. We'll walk you through it.
Yep. Another tipping question. Can the preset tip amounts on the, oh, that is the same one,
Yep.
change. Okay, same one.
There's one, how do I get online booking set up? So for any of these, so if we don't answer your question, if we don't get to it, you know, we'll just send into support@cloverfeet.com, send an email or give us a call. That way we can make sure that we create a ticket and we track, you know, response times and all that. We do have, you know, how do I get the online booking set up? So send in a support ticket and Christina will be the one, she'll reach out to you, she'll walk through the whole process and how to set it up and get it up and running. There's another one saying, do I already have all these features? Some of you will already have them. If you're on the latest version, it's probably a good point to mention we have an initiative we've created what we're calling the auto updater, but essentially you should see a lot more updates and more regularly pushed out updates because we've completely automated the process on our side. So if you guys don't currently have them, you should be scheduled for it. If you have questions about when it will be there or when you'll be getting it, you can reach out to support. Like I said before, we'll make sure that you are in the latest round of those updates. And then moving forward, you guys should all be getting them, you know, around every 6 weeks.
So we have some more questions coming through. Online gift card sales with a QR code. How would that QR code be scanned on site? You can get a QR scanner. There's specific models that we support. They do have to be programmed, so you can either purchase on your own or purchase it through us. Feel free to reach out and we can send you the list of supported QR scanners.
It's essentially like a barcode gun. It is a barcode scanner. It just also reads the 3D barcodes, which are what QR codes are. We also had a question about the waiver re-sign at the kiosk. Do you want to walk them through that?
Yeah, basically, you can go to the check-in process, and they can pull up their existing account and re-sign their waiver there.
You can also, there's a check-in feature that kind of tags along with that for online booking. So another way to reduce the amount of interaction and make the flow better is that a customer that has done an online booking can go to your registration kiosk and check in there with their online booking code, and that will complete the registration. Like that will be the check-in process, so they don't have to go to the point of sale and say I'm here and put everybody else.
It'll put them directly into the activity they've booked, so there's literally no interaction with a live person.
Let's see. We've got a lot of questions coming in,
Yeah.
which I love. Thank you. And this is exactly what we wanted. Self-service kiosk. So the self-service kiosk, we're going to be reaching out. We're going to do a highlight feature on this as well, and we'll kind of explain it all. We have some hardware, some freestanding kiosks that you can purchase. It's you know, a big, I think it's a 27-inch screen, maybe a 30-inch screen. You know, they're really nice. But we also know, you know, with COVID, a lot of people don't want to spend money on hardware, so we made sure that self-service kiosk software would work on your current iPads. So we can, you know, repurpose some of the hardware you have and help you kind of not have to spend a bunch of money just to get that feature coming out. And we'll reach out to you guys and kind of explain the process. We can do some demos too, so if you want to call in and actually see it and dig into it and have a, you know, one-on-one conversation, we're happy to walk you through all of that.
How do we get access to the new gift card system compared to the old version? So it's actually a functionality, once you're upgraded, will be in the /admin portal. You can reach out to us to get your actual URL, and then we'll walk you through the settings, configuring the account, and then you just post that URL on your site.
Other quick questions?
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a ton of questions.
So we had a question about the e-gift card service and is there any fees? There's no fees to the gift card service. It's, you know, it's a feature and functionality you had before. We just spent the time, in fact, 3D Secure actually costs money per transaction, and, you know, we're absorbing that cost, you know, just to make sure that you guys have a secure system. So there's no transaction fees for EGift cards. There's no fee for the new system. It's just you're, you know, part of the Cloverfeet family. It's a new functionality, new feature you guys get.
Will this slide deck be available after the call to review with your team? Yes, we can make it available.
Absolutely.
We'll also have a recording of this whole webinar that we can share with everyone that's joined today.
I think you guys should get it emailed to you automatically. It'll take a little time to process, and then I believe Zoom is just going to send you a link. If you don't, let us know. We're going to have our own. We'll upload it to our YouTube channel as well, so we can always share that link with you if you want to share it with, you know, employees or colleagues. So there's, I think we've answered almost all the questions, but if we haven't gotten to your question, we'll make sure we reach out and answer you. If you have more questions, or if you'd like to do one-on-one, you want to just chat about some of this stuff, if it's too much to type, we're always happy to answer your questions and field your calls. Just give us a call in at the support number. Yeah, we'll take it from there. But we appreciate you guys joining us and spending a few minutes with us today. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. We'll talk soon.